In this video, we are going to solve the Leetcode problem of the day, and the problem is count and say. The problem category is of medium level, but I would say after I explain you the problem and explain you the approach to solve this problem, it's going to be really easy. The input in this particular problem is a given integer n. The range of this n is going to be from 1 to 30. That's the constraint which is given in the question itself. So we just have one input n, and we need to output the digit string which is compressed by RLE. RLE means run length encoding. So basically we need to find the nth string which is created by compressing our string data using run length encoding algorithm. So let me first show you that how this RLE works. Okay, that is very important to understand the question itself. Okay, suppose you have a string which looks something like this. You can consider it a string which is made up of some characters, some digit characters. Okay, now I want to find out what is the string compression of this particular string using RLE. That is, I want to compress my data using run length encoding algorithm. So after compressing, how is this going to look like? It depends upon how RLE works. In RLE, what we do is we count the number of consecutive characters we have. For example, if we start from the beginning, it is 2, right? So now you need to check for this current character 2 that how many identical character 2 you are getting consecutively. So if the first character is 2, try to find out all those characters which are 2 until you find some other character. So we can say this is the 2, then again, again and again. So these are all the 2s I have, but then I got a character 4. So the moment I get a different character, I will just group my previous characters. This is one group, okay? And I can say this is encoded to 4, 2. 4 is the count and 2 is the actual character. So we got total number of 2s as 4, right? 4 number of 2s. So we are going to say this particular data can be represented or encoded as 4, 2, the count and then the character. And we need to do the same thing with all the characters. So we can group this and we can call this 4, 2, right? So let me write it 4, 2. Now we are starting from this and we have explored these characters, right? What's the next one? It is 4. Now we need to do the same thing. Try to find out all the 4s which are consecutive. So we got this 4, then 4, then 4, then 4. And then we are getting this 1. So we are going to create a group 4, 4, 4, 4, and this can be encoded as well. What is the count? We have got 4 number of 4s, right? And what is the character? It's 4. So we are going to say this particular data can be encoded and can be written as 4, 4. Now this is how RLE or run length encoding works. You just find all the consecutive characters and then you can encode it and write what is the count and what is the character. Again 4, 4, 4, 4. So what is the count? 4 number of 4s, and what is the character? It's 4, right? What about this? Now again this is going to form a group because the character is 1 and the consecutive characters 1 are this group, right? After this we have 2. So this is another group, and how many 1 do I have? I have 4 ones, right? So 4, that is the count, and 1, that is the character. So from here this particular data is 4, 1. So we have processed this string up to this point, and this is our encoded string, or I can say compressed string using run length encoding. What about this one? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have total 5 number of 2s left, right? So the count is 5 and the character is 2. So the complete compression of this string will look like this using RLE, run length encoding. Now using the same string compression by RLE, can you compress this particular data? Let me do it quickly, okay? So we have got 2 number of 3s, right? So I can say this is 2, 3. Then we got 3 number of 2s, right? So I can say 3, 2. Then we got 1 number of 5 and 1 number of 1s. So I can say 1, 5 and 1, 1. Now the question name is count and say. And now if I try to say this number, you will feel that I'm actually reading this number. How can you say that? See, this is our string compression of this particular string, right? I can say it is 2, 3, 3, 2. So we have 2 3s and 3 2s. Then I have 1, 5. I have 1, 5 here. I have 1, 1 here. So I have 1, 1 here, right? So it's basically saying that I'm compressing this, and when I say back or when I read back my data, this data, then I'm actually reading this. It will look like I'm reading this. So this is how the compression is working here. Just count the identical characters, group them and say that this is the count and this is the character. And your characters can be repeated again, okay? So in this example, you can see we have 4 number of 2s and then we have 5 number of 2s. Both are grouped differently. This is 4, 2 for 2, 2, 2, 2, and this is 5, 2 for this particular group, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So your same character can be repeated and you will group them differently if they are not consecutive, okay? So this is how RLE, run length encoding, works. Now coming back to the question is saying that you need to find the nth string you can form using compression by RLE. And what is your initial string? When n is equal to 1, that is what's the first string. The question says that you can assume that the first string is 1 itself, okay? You have a string in which you have one character which is 1, and that is going to be your base case. When the value of n is equal to 1, this is the output. Just a string with one character 1. You need to find the nth string, okay? For example, if the value of n is equal to 6, okay? So I know that the first string is 1, so I will start with 1. Then I will try to compress this 1 to form my second string, okay? So this 1 can be compressed to form 1 1. And how this 1 is becoming 1 1? You can say what is the count of this 1? It is 1, right? So 1 is the count and then this 1 is the character. Same thing what we were doing here, okay? So we have got one number of 1s. So this 1 will become 1 1, okay? This is the second string we have, okay? So if the value of n is equal to 2, this is going to be the output. What about the third string? It is going to be 21, which is going to form from 1 1, that is 11. How can you say this is 21? See, what are the characters we have? We have 1, right? And this 1 is consecutive till the last one as well. So we have 1 and 2, two number of 1s. So this is the count 2 and this is the character 1. So we have two number of 1s. Now this is the third string, okay? So if the value of n is equal to 3, this is first, this is second, and this is third. This is your output in case the value of n is equal to 3. What about when the value of n is equal to 4? It is 1 2 1 1. How? In 21, the first character is 2, right? And then it is 1, right? So we can form a group in which I just have one character, which is 2. So the count is 1 and the character is 2. So this 2 can be compressed using RLE and we can form 12 or 1 2. Okay. Similarly, for this one, I can say the count is 1 and the character is 1. And this is how I can say 2 1, that is 21, can be represented as 1 2 and 1 1. So I have one number of 2 and one number of 1. So 1 2 and 1 1. That is how we are encoding it. This is for n equal to 4. Okay. Now what about n is equal to 5? So I can take this previous result and I can say, okay, I have one number of 1s. So 1 1. Okay. What about 2? I have one number of 2s. So 1 1 and then 1 2. And what about this 1 1? Since this is identical, all the characters are 1 and they are consecutive, I can form a group, right? And I can say I have got two number of 1s. So this string can be encoded as 1 1, 1 2 and 2 1. This is the output when n is equal to 5. Similarly, when n is equal to 6, you can say I have 3 number of 1s, I have 2 number of 2s, and I have 1 number of 1. That is 3 1, then 2 2, and then 1 number of 1, which is 3 1 2 2 1 1. This is how we are going to solve our problem. We are just going to create the next answer. So when the value of n is equal to 6, we already know the first value, that is the first string, which is 1. I just need to find out 5 more strings. So anytime I have a given value of n, I just need to find out n minus 1 next strings which are possible. I'm just going to create my next string. So using 1, I'm going to create 11, that is the second. Then I'm going to create the third. Then I'm going to create the fourth, then the fifth, and then the sixth. So we need to create total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is n minus 1 strings because I already have the first. Now let us see the algorithm to solve this problem. When the value of n is 1, the output is going to be a string in which the value is 1. Now we need to run a loop and we know that we need to find n minus 1 strings. That is, we need to generate the next n minus 1 strings and then we can return the latest one which we have generated because that is going to be the nth string. So we run a loop using an index I and the loop will run for n minus 1 times. And every time we are going to create the next string. Okay. How can we do it? See, the new strings are created from the previous result, right? Now if I want to create the second one, I need the result for the first one. And I have the result for the first one. I cannot create the sixth one directly because I need the fifth result, right? And for fifth, I need the fourth. So that will continue till second, right? So the second will need the first. That is the first string which is possible. And we know that the first string is 1. That is a string in which we have one character 1. What if the value of n is equal to 2? So the previous value is 1, right? Now, how many more I need to create? I just need to create n minus 1, right? So if the value of n is 2, I need to create 2 minus 1, that is 1. One more string. My previous value is 1. I need to create n minus 1 more strings. So for that, let me create the new result or the next string. The previous is 1. What is the count? The count of this is 1 and the character is 1. So I just need to store what is my current character. My current character is 1 and its count is 1. Then the new result, the next result is going to be the count, then the character. So 1, 1. So 1, 1. Right? When the value of n is equal to 3, I need my previous result and I have my previous result as 11. That is 1, 1. So I can just group it together and I can say the count is 2 and the character itself is 1. So the string we can form from this is going to be the count then character. So we have 2, 1. In case of n equal to 4, the previous is 21. We need to do the same thing. The count of this group, which is 1, and the character itself is 2. We have one more group in which we have one element, which is character 1, and the count is 1. So I can say this is equal to the count and character. That is 1, 2. And in this case, it is equal to count and character. That is 1, 1. So I can just concatenate the result and I can say this is my string compression, or I can say the fourth string which I need. Now let me show you the actual algorithm, the actual code which we need to write. What is the algorithm we need to follow? See, what we can do is, if we have this as my current string and I need to find the next string, I can just say that the first character will always be my current character. Okay. This is my current character. And what is the count? Initially the count is equal to 1. This is my initial data. Now you need to check what is my next character. The next character is 2. My current character is 1. Both are not equal, right? It means that I have got a character which is different, and this is not consecutive. It's not 1, right? So at this point, I will need to create a new data. I will say that my new data is 11, and that's because this is the group I have. I have one number of ones, the count and the character. So 1, 1. That's my new data, or that's my next result only after processing this particular character. We still need to process these characters, so our next data is not final as of now. The next character is 2, that will become our current character, which is 2. The count will be reset to 1, okay? And now what is the next character? It is 1. The same thing. It is not equal to our current character, which is 2. So 2 is our current character now. 1 is the next character. So at this point, again, what I am going to do is I am going to group this, and then I am going to add its result in my new data. What is that group? So we need to see what is the count. The count is 1. What is the character? The character is 2. So I can say my new data is equal to my already existing new data 11 plus 1, 2. That's because 1 is the count and 2 is the character. So 11112. That's the data I have after processing this. Next, this is my current character. So my current is going to be 1, and again we will reset. My count is 1. What is the next data I have? The next data is also 1, which is equal to my current character, which is also equal to 1. So this time I can just increase the count. So the count is going to be 2. Earlier it was 1. And then we will come out of the loop of processing this string. Now once we come out of the loop, because we don't have any more characters left, what I can do is, for the last group which I have formed, I need to concatenate the result to my existing new data, and that is going to be my final data. That is the next string we can form from this string. So the final data is going to be the existing new data 1112 plus 21. Why 21? 2 is the count and 1 is the character. So 1112 plus 21 is equal to 111221. So for this, the next string is 111221, which I can see from here as well. This is my string. The next is 111221. Now this is the complete understanding of the problem and the approach to solve this particular problem. Let me take you back to the coding section and let me show you how you can code this using Python. The code is very simple. See, we have a result which is equal to 1 because that is our initial data, the first data. Then we run a loop for n minus 1 times. So you can see I am running the loop from 1 to n. That's equal to n minus 1 iterations. My current character will be equal to the result of 0. That is, whatever is my previous result, I take the first character out of it and I say that this is my current character, and the count is equal to 1. That is the initial data I have to create the next data. The new data will be empty for now, and then we run the loop in our remaining data or the remaining previous data. So what I mean by this is, if this is your current data, this is my initial data, or I can say this is my current, and then I have this 211. The remaining data is going to be looped. So we are going to check for each character that how many consecutive characters I can create. And then we run a loop and we iterate each character in our result, in our previous result, and we iterate it from the second character because we have already stored the result for the first character. Now in case our current character and the new character which is coming in from the loop is same, in that case I can say the count is going to increase because that's a consecutive character, right? But if they are not equal, I'm actually going to form a group and I can say the new data which is initially empty is going to be equal to the new data plus the count. Count will be changed to str, that is string, and then the current character. So count and current character is what we are storing, and then we are updating the current character is equal to c because it was not same as what we already had, and the count will be reset to 1. Then after we are out of this loop, I am also going to append the result for the last group which I will be forming for my previous result. So I can say result is equal to my new data plus the str of count plus the current, and that's it. We just need to do the same process for n minus 1 number of times, and this result is going to store the nth string which you can form. So once this loop is done, you can just directly return the value of your result, and that is going to be your output. So you can submit this code and you will see that this is the complete solution for this particular problem, and this is actually very efficient. If you see the memory, it is really good. The runtime is also good, right? So it is actually very efficient code for this particular problem, and you can find the code in the description as well. And that's it for this particular video, guys. If this video explains you the problem and the solution as well, and if you got some understanding, then make sure that you hit that like button. And if you have not subscribed to my channel as of now, then make sure that you subscribe to my channel as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this video, guys.